Yo, what is up guys? It is Samool here back with another expedition guide for you guys today. And today I'm going to be talking about Brutal Pherus, or otherwise known as Fire Expedition. Now Fire Expedition is probably the most important expedition that you guys are going to want to have down, because in the Expedition Depot, if you can't fill this out all the way, I actually don't even have mine filled out at all, if any, but I do plan to do it very soon. You'll see that Brutal Pherus drops the Wyvern set gem selection chests, the modification gems, so crit and speed, so very important, and also the Wyvern reforge essences, which are also very important because most of your crafting is going to be done in Wyvern, especially until you get super late game. Also, there's of course other goodies here as well that you guys want to pick up, so make sure you guys do this. For some reason the green expedition doesn't have like epic charms. It's kind of weird, but yeah, you guys want to make sure you guys fill this out. And I really highly recommend focusing on Brutal Pherus if you guys haven't gotten your expedition teams all up and running. So yeah, now talking about team comp, so there's a lot of options. Actually, let's first talk about his mechanics. So you're going to want to run this on level 3 for max contribution and chances at greater expedition modification gems. But for team comp, you're going to always want a knight in the front for this. There's no exception for Fire Expedition because Fire Expedition does so much damage. You can't really get away with a Soul Reaver tank like in Green Expedition. And I really recommend Crow. So Crow is very strong, very easy to gear for this, and he's very tanky. Now Brutal Pherus does a lot of damage, so Crow's just very good because he's a 5-star, has naturally high base stats. He can hold Aureus. He also has a defense buff for himself, and the boss doesn't really have a strip that's reliable. So very good. Now this is the stats that I'm running him on. Now I don't really have him on a super PvE build. I have him at about 100% effect resist for some PvP use as well. This unit is a very good all-rounded character. You just need to aim for just decent amount of bulk. It's hard to say the exact numbers, but if you're running a lot and you're seeing him die a lot often, that means either your healer that you're bringing him with is too slow or he's too tanky, and it's usually a problem with his tankiness. So aim for about like 23-24k HP, and I think about 1600 defense should be okay for Fire Expedition. So that's pretty much it for the tank spot that I recommend. If you guys don't have Crow though, he is a natural 5-star. The second best option in my opinion would be Rose. So Rose is actually better than Crow, but she has higher gear requirements. She has a CR push for her team. She also has an attack buff, so very good. And if you don't have either of them for some reason, you can also use Aros. Now keep in mind Aros will take more damage, so you're going to need to have him super tanky. Now he is fire. If you're not using an Ice Knight, you're going to take extra damage on your tank, so you want to make sure you can try to bring Crow or Rose. Otherwise Aros is a good option as well. So next we have the Soul Reaver spot. This spot is also very required. I just use Tamarin. Although she's not ice, it doesn't really matter because Tamarin's so OP. Another option alongside Tamarin, which would be very close and a very good option as well, is Angelic Montmorency, just because Tamarin's attack buff isn't going to be utilized here that much because the boss has a strip that happens on your entire team and the silence, so it's kind of annoying to deal with. But these are the stats that I'm running my Tamarin on. Very scuffed PvE gear, but you can see it does its job because yeah, Tamarin's just broken. So next we have the 2 DPS spots. So I really recommend running a dedicated defense breaker, and then you also want to run a main DPS that has CR cycling potential. Now you can always mix and match between these, but this is the 2 DPS I use. I use Luna, which I think is the best DPS for Fire Expedition by far. And you'll see that the stats I'm running are on. You can use like Draco Plate. I use Uberius' Tooth. It's not even maxed out because my Draco Plate is used for PvP. And yeah, you just aim for about, I don't even know how much crit. Yeah, like 85% crit, right? And then you want to stack crit damage and then attack. Keep in mind Daydream Joker does not work here. So you're going to want to use an artifact to boost your damage that is not Daydream Joker. Just basically, you want to get them above 200 speed on your main DPS and very high damage. Now, a good substitute for Luna. Now, Luna has a CR push on her S1. I actually didn't show you guys, but let me show you guys real quick. So, you'll see that because of this, she's very good because there's a cycle or a turn cycle where the boss needs to be lapped 6 times or he will one-shot your team basically. So Luna is a very good option because she has that CR push, and CR pushes are going to be, or boosts rather, are going to be amplified during that phase, which I'll go over when I fight the boss for you guys. Now if you don't have Luna, you can use Commander Lorena, very good option. TG, Terran Guard is also a very good option. Another good option would be like Glenna, so very good 3-star options as well. But I personally think Luna is the best. Now alongside Luna or whatever DPS you run, you have your defense breaker, because no one else in your team has defense break. So I run Luluka. So this is my A13 Luluka build. So she's on Violin, but you don't really want to run her on Violin. Now for her exclusive equipment, I have her on the defense chance increased. But you can run her on the extra attack that can proc for higher scores. But this is more consistent in my opinion. And yeah, you want 80% effectiveness on your defense breaker. And then you're going to want to run her basically at the same stat line as your other DPS. Maybe a little bit slower so that your main DPS can get their extra hits in. But good options for Luluka, right? You can run like Terran Regard. So like Luna plus Terran Regard is very good. You can also run like Falconer Clary, because Falconer Clary has a CR push as well. So she can cycle through the Berserk phase of the boss very fast, or the offensive posture phase of the boss very fast, which I'll go over in a sec. You can also run like Lena, like I said. Yuna is very good, right? Just make sure you have a knight that's tanking in the front. Make sure you have a healer, right? Whether it be Tamarin or a Momo. And the last two slots are going to be DPS. And they both need to have a, not both, but between the two, you need a defense break for sure. And you also need someone that can CR push themselves, because the boss has a mechanic, which I'll go over now. So, where is it? Offensive posture. Okay, so you'll see here, after his attack, actually, wait, what? So after he, what's it called? Attacks everyone like this, with his AoE attack, and dispels all your buffs, and then also silences you, he gets offensive posture. Now offensive posture is basically going to be that he needs to be attacked 6 times to dispel his offensive posture. Otherwise he just gets like super buffed when he attacks. And you'll see at the bottom here it says combat readiness increases effects of all enemies. Combat readiness increase effects of all enemies are increased by 300%. So enemies would be us, because we're his enemies. So when you see that Luna gets a 15% CR push, she's actually getting 45, so she'll lap super fast. So you want to really make sure your defense break lands then, and then just do so much damage. Now you can always manual these fire expeditions, right? But I'm just giving you team comps to actually auto it. If you guys want to manual it, you guys can run like way easier team comps, but I think this team comp is pretty low barrier to entry. You can always use 3 stars, right? Like the most free to play team would be like Aros, a Momo, like Seal Rina, and like Terran Regard, and that would work perfectly fine. You can just aim for like 250k points and you'll be fine. So we'll see how my team runs on an auto battle real quick. I actually run Luna and Luluka with their skills off, which I highly recommend, because you don't really want them to use their skills. It's actually less damage over time. So let's see how this run goes real quick. So you'll see I got that defense break into that lucky dual attack there. Doesn't really matter too much. You'll see that my crowd barely will take any damage. He does get his defense buff stripped, and now I'm getting the connecting error for some reason. But you guys can see through this, right? I hope. Epic 7, Smilegate. Okay. Yeah, and we're back. Perfect. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with the servers lately, but this happens like all the time to me. But you'll see that when he was in the offensive posture, right, that my Luna got to attack a lot. And you'll see it again. Maybe you guys didn't see because of the pop-up, but you'll see when he uses his skill how his offensive posture works. So basically this boss is one of the easier ones, just like a tank and spank. As long as you have like the right units, it's pretty easy, not too crazy. So this is like the most annoying part of it, just having a speed debuff. So like a Momo here would be very strong as well, because she can cleanse this. So basically it'll give your team more damage over time. And you're starting to see that my Crow is starting to take a heavy beating, right? But Crow, luckily for us, has that huge barrier he can use, and he also has that S2 for defense buff to soften up the blows. And now my Tamarin is going to cleanse the party with her S3 and get those nice effects right before the offensive posture attack comes in, and he's going to strip everyone. So yeah, this is why Tamarin is very good here, but not as important, because your attack buff will get stripped a lot of the times. You'll see right here, after the Crow goes here, he's going to attack and strip all of our buffs. And now he's in offensive posture. So I have that defense break up right now. Look at Luna's CR bar right now. She just went. She's up again. She lapped like pretty much everyone, right? You'll see after she goes again here, she's going to pretty much lap almost everyone again. And so Luna's tuned, so she has the most attack on the team. So she's going to get the forced dual attack from Tamarin, which makes it so she's going to continuously lap. So you can see why like Terran Regard's good here, because dual attacks will proc offensive posture faster. Falconer Clary CR pushes herself or her entire team, proc it even faster. And Smilegate is going to mess up my video with Aros running in front of my face while I'm trying to record. But yeah, you'll see easily I'm gonna get about like, I don't know, 700k plus points. Honestly, Fire Expedition is like the easiest one to get high points on. And you'll see that even my Crow here is not as tanky, so he might even die. But usually what happens in my runs when I auto is either my Crow lives to the end barely, or he dies on the last like turn. So it doesn't really matter if he dies too much. I'm pretty sure this fight he'll be okay. Hopefully. Yeah, he's okay. This is the Berserk, so no matter what, he's going to one-shot my team here. But you'll see I get another rotation off with Tamarin S3. The highest I've ever gotten when I got lucky was 1.1 mil. I think I was like dual attacking every single attack, but yeah, I don't really aim for like anything super crazy. I think a good like endgame goal for expeditions to contribute is like 500k, 600k, and you're fine. And if you're early mid game, aim for like, I don't know, 200k is fine to contribute. Honestly, 150 is like the bare minimum, I think, and you'll be fine. You just want to boost all your expedition teams over time together rather than just making one like 1 mil and having your others be like 50k, you know? So yeah, that's pretty much it for my Brutal Pherus guide. Now, there's a lot of options. These are the team comps that I recommend. I'm just going to recap for you guys in case you guys didn't remember or I went too fast. For tanks, I recommend Crow and then Rose or Aros. For the healer spot, I recommend Tamarin or Angelic Montmorency. For one of your DPS spots, you're going to want to CR push on themselves, so like Luna, what's his name? Terran Guard, Commander Lorena, Lena, very good. And then the other one, you're going to want a defense break for sure. So Terran Guard again, Luluka. Those are pretty much... Falconer Clary is pretty good too, right? So, yeah. Now, I hope this video, guys, helped you out for your Fire Expedition guide. For my Fire Expedition guide. For your Fire Expedition guys. And as always, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Peace.